All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and flag there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we begin, I think it would be appropriate just for a moment of silence for all the victims in our area, and they're actually throughout the country, for the tornado victims. And when we take this moment of silence, I know, at least for me, I'll be thinking about just how lucky and happy that we are. You never know, in an instant things could change. So. All right, thank you for that. I'm glad you guys are here. I think it's going to be a quick, great meeting, and we got one big item on the agenda that we're going to get to. But first off, roll call.
Trustee Sewell?
Yeah, I think I'm here.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee
Here.
Bell? Paul? Why do I always do that?
Yeah, Trustee Ball is here.
Trustee Gunther.
Here.
Supervisor Cox.
Here. And then we'll start with public comment. If it's your first meeting, all you got to do is step up to the podium there and state your name, just what town you're from, or the unincorporated area, and you have 5 minutes. Not even Phil? I mean, my gosh.
Hey, the cookies,
The coffee's cold.
He might change his name. Hang on.
Scott's gonna bail us out here.
Scott Raho, 205 Westview. Just stay the course. Merry Christmas to everyone, and it's been a whole lot of fun coming to the senior center the last few weeks.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Can you step up?
Ain't no stinking, Mike.
What's your name?
Ethel and I are new to this. This is Dennis and Ethel McCann. This month we'll celebrate 66 years of wedded bliss, I think. Anyway, we got started coming over here when they had the COVID shots. What was that, in November? And right away we saw that this is really a great place to get a good hot meal every day. Monday through Friday. I don't think it used to be that often, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we really are enjoying that and the other programs you have here. One of these days I'm going to start on a treadmill, but right now I'm having too much fun eating. And I just can't get over how great a place this is. And this young lady over here is quite a decorator, as is that young lady over there. This place always looks spectacular, and we really enjoy it.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? And if it's okay with the board, because we have our accountant, he's been here all day. And anyway, I'd like to change up the agenda and move the old business of the levies up to the next thing. Our community spotlight, we'll skip that under, so we'll move that above the consent agenda. Is that okay with the board? Okay. So Jim, if you'd like to step up, and I'll just kind of set you up here. We already went through this once at the last meeting, but when we sat down, a few things have happened. We started looking deeper into our fund balances on all the different funds in road and town, and I just felt, and we felt, that we could actually do even more. And then we had a great lunch with our assessor and Kathy, and it was just very productive. And what's the best that we can do for the taxpayers? That's what we're here for, to give great service and to charge the folks out there in the community the lowest that we can possibly do for the best service. And that's where we came up with this new number, which again is the biggest cut in Collinsville Township history, tax cut, proposed, if you guys vote on it, of with both of them combined, $154,804. So Jim, what do you got?
Okay, I guess what I'll do, I'll go over the town levy first. And what I was gonna just highlight, the increase or decrease in the levy compared to the prior year. On the town, the general corporate tax levy is $1,038,254. That's a decrease of $39,141. The audit levy is $14,750. That's an increase of $14,750 because we did not levy anything for the audit last year. The insurance is the same as the year before, 0. The IMRF, Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, it's a decrease of $69,938. The Social Security Tax Fund has a decrease of $99,344. $50,000 is that levy. The IMRF has a 0 levy. And then finally, public assistance, a decrease of $1,327. The levy is $35,000. So the overall decrease from the prior year is $105,000. And you all, the supervisor, Pete, Kathy, all went together and really hammered out and said, what can we do? And I think it's very doable and should not have any problems unless something unforeseen happens. And I don't think that will happen.
Well, and the reason, and if the board wants to chime in, anybody, the reason that we were able, and for certain to do with the IMRF is because our rate, actually, it's probably unheard of. What is it, Kathy? 1.5%. And so the money that we're going to be paying into IMRF is even going to be lower, and we had enough money in our account for a full year plus to fund it. So we don't have to levy anything.
Not this year.
Not this year, and I believe moving forward that it's not going to be, we're going to have to levy something moving forward. But my goal was, and when I sat down with Jim, yes, I want to lower this year, but I want to make sure that we either hold this or we never have to raise.
Right.
Because that would be against what I'm here for. And so I think that we've set ourselves up to continue on this path. Do you guys have any concerns on the town portion?
I would just ask, what are those risks? What would be those
Insurance could be
concerns?
one. You just don't know.
Unforeseeable.
But most of them, honestly, the audit, you know what it's going to be.
Correct.
The general corporate tax, I mean, it's pretty consistent. If IMRF should be lower. I'd be shocked if you need any money in there the coming year. Because this levy, this is a 2021 levy collected in 2022, and public assistance. When I'm there, Gabby is telling them, well, I could get light heat for you or this, and so they're not paying out that much of the funds from the public assistance. So I would be shocked if there was a problem.
That may be the only lever that we have control over.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Good. Thanks.
Want to move on to
Okay.
to road?
I'll go over road. Road. The first levy is the road and bridge tax levy. That levy is $835,000, an increase of $4,498 over the prior year. Audit fund, the levy is $14,750. That's a change from what I think they had before. Before it was $26,950, so it went down.
From
But
last
that's
meeting. Last meeting.
Yeah, but that's an increase from the prior year of $12,798 because we didn't levy hardly anything. The prior year insurance levy is still 0. It was 0 the year before. The Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund is now 0. That's a decrease of $60,000. The Social Security Fund is $50,000 even. That's a decrease of $9,154. And then finally, the Equipment and Building Tax Fund, that's $210,000, and that's an increase of $2,054. So that, the overall levy went down $49,804. So if you add those together, it's a decrease of over $150,000.
Right. And one thing that needs to be pointed out, because I did not realize exactly how it works, and Kathy, maybe you can explain, because I think that the public really does need and deserve to know when they're paying for their road taxes and the road and bridge portion, a large portion of that actually goes right back to where you live. So if you live inside the village of Maryville, a large portion, and I'll let Kathy explain it, but goes back to the village. Same thing with the city of Collinsville. If you live in the city of Collinsville and you pay that Collinsville Township tax, that money actually goes to the city of Collinsville.
The
for
city
their
of
roads.
Collinsville gets 40% of the general road fund.
Okay.
So of $835,000 levy, they get $334,000 of that. Doesn't come to us and then we pay them. It goes directly to them from the county.
Right. So when people ask, what am I getting? What am I getting? It needs to be pointed out. I didn't understand it for a couple of years. And it's important. And there's also things that I know the road department is always helping out with inside the city of Collinsville and inside the village of Maryville. We got a situation right now, we need my street swept. And Maryville doesn't have a street sweeper. You know, so we're constantly helping out. And you got other projects that you're helping out with Maryville,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, we help them out with their oiling every year. We help them out with just different things that they call about. We sweep for them a couple times a year. Anybody in Collinsville Township, period, in Collinsville, Maryville, use our dumpster. You can see how many cars we have coming through. Sometimes it's crazy the amount of cars coming through that day. So, yeah, we offer things to them that, you know, honestly, we don't have to offer, but, you know, I feel that working with community and working together as governments is a win-win for everybody. And that's why it was started with us years ago. And that's why I have intergovernmental agreements.
And I've said it many times before, if you were to do a poll in the unincorporated areas of the job that the roads department does, it would poll better than any, I would say probably around 95%. I mean, I've never met anybody that's disappointed in the work that you and your staff does.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so,
Learned from the best.
I was just gonna say, let's sing.
Wear a true crown, born and bred.
Yeah.
so, and for anybody that, you know, on your chairs, I wanted to know how we were doing compared to others too, because I think that's important. So I actually asked the mayor of Collinsville, Maryville, Edwardsville Township, what they were doing with their taxes, and you can see there in your chair, there's increases. City of Collinsville over $150,000, Village of Maryville over $120,000, Edwardsville Township increase. We're decreasing ours by over $150,000, and I think we're offering, as you can see, we're offering great services, continuing that, and even better services in some. And I want to thank my staff for that. That's the main thing. So anyway, anything else, Jim? Does
That's
anybody
really
have
good.
any concerns or questions? Now's the time.
My concerns are all answered.
Okay.
Well, one thing on the, what I sent you yesterday, on the road levy, there was a little error on there, the audit fund. I had shown it's 14,000, it's 14,750. So that's a little,
So yeah, we'll be
and
voting.
you printed that.
I'll get you a new one, so you can.
Yeah, but when we vote on the road fund, it's 1,109,750.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess we vote for these separately, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Which one? I guess we'll start with town, since that's what we were discussing first. So I'll accept a motion to approve the new town levy.
I motion, we wanna go? He's got the motion. and
I'll
I'll
motion to approve.
Okay. All right. No other questions?
You
Roll call.
seconding?
Yes. Unless somebody else wants.
That's fine. Trustee Ball,
Yes.
Trustee Gunther,
Yes.
Trustee Sewell,
Yeah.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. We will move on. I feel like we should have done like clapping or something right there. That's the first time everybody's clapped for a levy, you know? Let's go with the road levy. I'll accept a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the road levy as presented.
And I will second.
Great. Other questions? Roll call.
Trustee Gunther,
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball,
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jim. Long day. Thank you so much. All right, the fun is not over. We'll whip through the rest of it here pretty quick. We'll move on to our consent agenda. Jim?
No community comment? Okay. So the consent agenda, you'll see you have the minutes, regular minutes from the last meeting, then you've got the reports from the assessor, Kathy, and myself.
All right, we'll be voting on all these as one.
A motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
All right, roll call.
Trustee Sewell.
Yeah.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Moving on to the approval of the closed session minutes.
Right, you'll notice I just sent them to you. There really wasn't anything controversial, so. But we still need to approve them separately from the consent agenda.
I motion we approve the closed meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yeah.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. And we're going to move on to the approval of bills.
So you have the pretty colored sheet that I sent you. The first thing up, general assistance, the bills for the month total $7,588.07. Who wants to make a motion to approve that?
Motion that we approve the,
General
bills for
assistance.
general assistance.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right,
Yes, sir.
roll call.
Trustee Ball.
Aye.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yeah.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Just a note, if you guys, one thing I learned last month, to the far right-hand side of this report, it has the fund balances. Those were the bank balances as of the end of November. So for example, and that's the actual bank balance, so like, if a check hadn't cleared through, the money's still in there. Because Derek and I got into it last month about the audit fund, that it's like, no, there's no money in there. Yeah, there is. Well, that's because the check hadn't cleared. So anyway, so a lot of these expenses don't necessarily come out of there. So from these balances, we still have to pay December, January, February, and March.
Thanks for that.
All right, so we're on
Road and Bridge.
and Bridge, and the total for the month was $227,846.39.
Yeah, I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yeah.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Road and Bridge equipment is $117,164.90.
What'd you buy?
No, I think that's probably the building payment,
Oh, okay.
because equipment and building, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Motion.
I'll motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, sir. All right, Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Town fund had a total expenditure for the month of $123,272.68.
Salaries and everything.
That's low for us.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All right, Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
And finally, the senior center, expenditures of $5,094.82.
Need to buy some.
You know, and that's the electricity, that's everything, into the salaries, everything
That's
that goes
actually
on.
higher than normal. It's normally about 4,000.
Okay.
I motion we approve the senior center expenses.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call.
All right, trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Gunther,
Yes.
trustee Sewell,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes. All right, moving on for our reports by officers and committees, and our highway commissioner, Kathy Holster, is here. Kathy?
Yeah, just to let you know, the building is about complete. We've still got one payment left, not very much, of just some odds and ends that needs to be done. So it's nice to be in a lunchroom together, and in a lunchroom instead of sitting out in the garage. So, nice to have a couple of bathrooms instead of one. So it's worked out really nice so far, and it will be great when the winter comes for washing. And we're washing in there now, but talking about when they raise the beds all the way up and clean everything out. So anyway, it's turned out really well. We're just some odds and ends, things that need to be done. The other thing I was gonna point out, I looked back on our levies, and our levy tonight is actually lower than our levy in 2009 by $355. So, I'm not gonna promise that I can't ever raise anything, because unfortunately that's gonna happen with 0 levies there. But when we don't need the money, I don't want it in the levy, and I don't want it, to take advantage of anything, because we're not here to do that. So, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. It was $355 higher in 2009. So, as far as our permanent levy, the reason that isn't included in this portion of it is because it's considered permanent. It's not anything that's adjusted. The rate is determined by the state, and then it goes on the EVA as far as what the amount will be. So that's nothing that is adjusted year to year, and it's a permanent fund. So, do you have any questions
Does the
for
city
me?
still get a percentage of that as well?
Yes, yeah. So the permanent fund helps pay for salaries and a lot of our road maintenance, so. Is there any questions that anybody has?
I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And I also appreciate Kathy for bringing Pete and I together. And for lunch, he was kind of the head of that, and Jim came along, and it was just very productive, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, thanks. And I did mention, our assessor's not here, but he presented his report, and I do want everybody to know that I appreciate our assessor, Pete Paletti. We're working together, and he's agreed to cut back, and so we're moving in the right direction.
Yep.
So everything's good. Trustees, did I skip? No, you're good.
I'll start with the general.
Okay.
So they're getting ready for Christmas and working on their Christmas baskets. If anybody still needs one, just let them know. And then I just love seeing all of all the posts, both with the center, but also with the general, just everything that you guys are doing. So kudos to all the staff.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I want to say thanks to Clint and Kathy Ball, especially Kathy Ball, for
Yes.
her work on our Christmas tree. The township was well represented with a first place win, so.
I gotta tell everybody, all we do is win around here. I mean, we just win. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm good, that's.
Yes, thank you.
I'll say Brandon Loyett announced it on Facebook that he landed on his feet and has a new job, so that's great.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that we did get first place. Stole my thunder again, you're good. But anyway, no, we had a great time representing the township, and it went for a good cause of Chaos Strong. All in all, I spoke to the guy who actually purchased the tree. He bought it for his daughter and fiance, and they were very willing to go very extremely high on their top end bid. I'm not exactly sure what the tree actually sold for, but definitely a good chunk of change to go to Chaos Strong. So.
Good.
It was awesome.
I think it put it over 700.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
For
Well,
a tree.
The problem was they pulled the bids down, but after it was sold, they pulled them down so you couldn't
They
see.
pull them down, well,
I watched all of the place trees to see how they all did, and I
Yeah.
think they all did
Well,
over 700.
the one in the corner, I think, brought 850, I think.
And
He
all
told
of
me
money
that
went
he
into
had a high
K-Hawk
bid.
Strong?
Yes, well,
Or 750.
I
Or
see.
just the top one that's sold?
The grand prize was about 850,
Yeah.
right? And then they had the one tree that had all the gift certificates.
Yeah.
$1,300 of gift certificates. It went for $1,200.
Okay.
So how much did K-Hawk Strong get?
They're still calculating it, but I know it was over 15,000 that night.
Wow.
Excellent.
And just so everybody knows, this is the Festival of Trees,
Yeah.
and
I'm
Clint
on
and his
that
wife is the
committee,
one that
so
put
I
our
know
tree
some of
together,
that
and they got
data.
first place, so, thank you, Clint. All right, moving on to the senior center, I see Cinda back there, and I know she doesn't want to get on the microphone, but Cinda, feel free to say whatever you'd like to say.
I just want to thank everybody for coming home for Thanksgiving dinner. We're having our Christmas one out on the 22nd, and we're also having a dance. Please, everybody come to that. And anybody would like to help, we would appreciate that too. Derek helped, and Wayne's always a big help to us. And we have Irene and Carla, Joyce, and Kathy's always here with me, so works out good.
We're doing good. Thank you, Cinda. And Cinda, I mean, when I first got here, I wanted big, like we need people, and they weren't quite used to having this many people. Some days we have 100 people here for lunch, and that's a lot for one person to do. And she's just been incredible and amazing, and everybody stepped forward. And I'll just add on to what she has to say. The senior council, we meet once a month, actually the day before this meeting, and we go, it's like a real meeting, and we go over everything, and they've been great volunteers with a lot of events that we've done. We did our Thanksgiving. We also had a health fair here. We had Collinsville PD, Collinsville Fire Department, H Smart, Tom Haynes' office. I mean, we had 15 different booths in here. We had a chamber fundraiser to help the food pantry, and we wrote them a check for $500. And tomorrow we're doing cookies. We're baking cookies, and we're going to be delivering them all over town. And I want everybody to know this is not taxpayers' dollars. This is volunteer work, and it just makes us feel good. And it's good to be involved with the community. So, and like she said, December the 22nd, it's our senior snowball. And I want to thank all the volunteers, and I especially want to thank my mom. Let's give her a hand. So moving on, we already did the old business. We did. Oh, you're right. Clerk.
I just had a few items of correspondence that we had received. One, we got a very nice thank you card from the Kiwanis. If you remember, we gave them a contribution for their golf outing. So we got a nice thank you card from them. We also got a letter from the Women's Club about the empty bowl, which is coming up in the beginning of March, and how we might be able to help. So maybe Derek and I'll talk about it, so maybe more will come from that. And we got a letter also from Boy Scout Troop 86, which weren't the guys who were here, but the guys from over at Holy Cross. They have a fundraiser coming up, so they sent us a request for assistance. So we'll talk about that. That's in February. So we had that, and I would just add on the Festival of Trees. I also appreciate all those from the Board of Trustees and staff members that attended. The township was very well represented, and we all were paid ourselves. The city of Collinsville had a lot of people. I'm not for sure if they all paid themselves, but we all did, and we were very well represented, not only with the tree, but just having so many people there showing our support for K-Hawk Strong. So I think it's something we can be very, very proud of.
Yeah.
I also gave one last thing. We gave you a copy of that IMRF statement, and one thing about that, the reason our rate went down so low is not because something we did, it's because what had been done in the past. They pre-funded our IMRF contributions, so the people who came before us, they weren't all that bad. That was a pretty smart move, and this low rate, it's saving taxpayers money.
Yeah, we were at 11.76 at one point.
So I guarantee you won't find another taxing body or another group around that pays into IMRF that has a rate as low as we do. But we got that because we paid up for it. But IMRF It's a very good fund. It's not like a lot of the other pension funds within the state of Illinois, and we are holding up our end of the bargain, and we are benefiting from that. Taxpayers benefiting from that, so it's a good thing.
And before I give my final report and we'll get out of here, I do want to, because it's not mentioned in here, I want to thank two people because we just started in May, and I don't have an HR or anything like that. I want to thank two people. I want to thank Jim Achenbach. He's been there, and there's a lot of issues to learn and to get through. Jim really helped me out, and it wasn't on his job title, or he didn't quite sign up for it. And the other one I want to thank is Bruce Matea. I would go down to Bruce's office and he would give me a lot of advice. And Bruce, I really appreciate that. So, thank you. So my report, I won't be too long. We already did that. Oh, the meeting calendar. Yep,
Right.
Sorry. So we did old business meeting calendar. Thank you.
So I sent you a meeting calendar. That's which we have to publish this. Actually, the township code says we don't really have to do until our fiscal year begins, but it just makes sense when you put a calendar out. You put a calendar out that starts at the beginning of the year. So these are the meeting dates. We just need to approve these, and they'll be posted on the website. They'll be posted at the senior center, and they'll be posted here.
And we're still sticking with the second Tuesday of each
I
month.
was just gonna ask that, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you got the calendar I sent you. We just need a motion to approve it.
I motion that we approve the calendar.
Okay, roll call.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell. Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. Okay, now I think it's my turn.
There it is.
Okay. Last thing on the agenda, supervisors' comments. Tonight, the city of Collinsville is meeting to approve our TIF funding that will help pay for the brand new rooftop units. Some of them are 20 years old. These are heating and AC units. I also found another grant opportunity up at the county for these 3 units. So it's in my budget for $60,000, but at the end of the day, these things are going to cost very little. So that's great. And I do want to thank Mr. Ostrowskis for first floating the idea back in the summer. I want everybody to know when you stand up and you make a public comment, even if I maybe don't always agree, I always respect and I listen to what you have to say. Finally, I want to thank the entire Collinsville Township staff. These are real people and they have feelings. When they see these huge cuts, I know that it makes them worry. I told them, a few of them today, it's because of them and they're working harder than ever before that we're able to give this gift back to the taxpayers. It's not this board, it's not me, it's not this board, it's the staff who deserve the credit. In 7 short months, we have cut the budget by 20%. Then we delivered the largest tax cut ever at Collinsville Township for next year. This while bringing the senior center to life with amazing programs, helping more people in the community with power bills, rental assistance, back to school, and so on. The assessor's office has agreed to work harder with less. The roads department continues to do an amazing job and lowered their taxes by a significant margin while prices on things like asphalt are skyrocketing. At our first meeting, I had a good friend, Pastor David Amston, give us words of encouragement, telling us no matter what, we'll never please everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy, and I'm very happy with the job that this board has done and all the things that we've done coming together after a rough election. By the way, 100% attendance at the meeting so far, 100%, all right? Big shout out to Trustee Ball. We did it already, and his wife Catherine for decorating and putting their own money into the first place winning tree at this year's Festival of Trees. The sign behind me is not just words, but it has come true. Thank you all for everything. Thank you for your support. I truly hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a great New Year. All right, thank you. Second motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn?
I'll motion that we leave.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Well, stick around and eat some refreshments.